And
Yes.
are we becoming an Ajumma and Silai? And how do we feel about it? There's 3 questions there, but we can unpack it slowly. Yeah, or somebody calling me Ajumma. Would that ever happen? Maybe not. Or maybe yes.
Welcome to the Asian Soup Podcast.
This is your co-host Jules.
And this is your co-host Rox.
The Asian Soup Podcast is your cozy space on the internet where we share and discover stories about one another.
We chat about a range of topics from relationships to careers and much more.
Come sit with us
And get nourished.
So guys, you clicked into it, Ajumma, and is it Silao?
Silai.
Oh, Silai. That's what we're talking about today.
I don't know if there's like an English equivalent for this, but basically in translation it's like an Asian auntie. Like a auntie, or it doesn't have to be Asian, but we're talking about it from like a Korean perspective and like a Hong Kong Chinese perspective and what we understand as an auntie. But it's
Yeah.
not really just an auntie. It's about, maybe let's just talk about
There's no English.
There's no English,
There's
like-
no English equivalent.
basically it's like a more negative, it's kind of got a negative connotation to it, the Chinese one. So it's basically when a woman transitions from like attractive girl or woman and transitions into midlife auntie vibes and housewife-ish, like, you know. But anyways, we'll try to kind of maybe define what Ajumma is in Korean, and then what Silai is in Cantonese.
Yeah. We'll discuss what is Ajumma, what is Silai.
Yeah.
Are we becoming one now that we're in our mid-30s? And
Do we want to become one?
Do we want to become one, or maybe we do?
Maybe we don't. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe you define what Ajumma means.
Ajumma.
To you.
Yeah.
Just caveat, sometimes we might be wrong about stuff, but that's okay. Because we're like Australianized. Like, that's not a word, but we're westernized Asians. So sometimes we don't get like
Our facts right?
yeah, like I you know, my Chinese isn't that good. We don't live in those places anymore.
Yeah.
So if we offend anyone, I'm really sorry. Like,
Yes, please check online to do, you know, there's probably like historical.
we're just here for fun.
Yes,
But yeah.
that's right.
Sorry, I don't know why I had to say that.
Oh, I think it's good you say that because we say a lot of
Weird
things on this show.
Okay, yeah.
But Rox, in saying that, I did do a little bit of Googling.
Okay.
We never do Googling, but did a little bit of Googling. And apparently the word Ajumma comes from, I forget we have a camera here.
Yeah.
The word Ajumma comes from Ajumoni.
What's Ajumma?
And Ajumoni, okay, let me bring up the definition here. So Ajumma originates from Ajumoni, meaning a middle-aged or married woman, often associated with strength, practicality and resilience, but also carries stereotypes of being pushy or brash.
Okay.
And I think the best way I could think of Ajumoni and Ajumma, which is a short version of Ajumoni, is, you know, in pachinko,
Yeah.
they say Ajumoni in that. So it's like it's like an older word, Ajumoni. And I remember the character would be like, Ajumoni, like to call out
So
for
call out to an older
woman.
to help her or something, or
Any
excuse me,
context.
older lady,
Yeah.
like, can you help me, or I want to buy this or something.
Yeah.
Ajumoni.
Ajumoni,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got shortened to Ajumma. And from my experience, I grew up saying Ajumma all my life.
About who? Or two people? Or-
Two people.
like to an older auntie.
To an older auntie.
How do you know when it's okay to say?
I just know. You just know.
Like they're over 60, like they look
Well,
really old.
Ajumma is a word that a kid would use typically.
Ah,
Like it's
okay.
very normal for a child to be like, Ajumma.
Yeah.
And it could be a very loving word as well.
That's nice.
So growing up, I think I would use Ajumma for maybe in a restaurant.
okay. Yeah.
If
When
there's
you're
a
ordering
helper
something. Yeah.
and I'm in a Korean restaurant, I may say Ajumma.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe as a kid, not so much as an adult. I wouldn't
Like a
use
full-grown
Ajumma.
woman. You
No,
don't use
but as a
that.
kid, you could use it for like maybe someone in the community.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I used to call this Ajumma Mimi Ajumma.
Why Mimi?
Mimi was the name of the dog.
Oh.
So we knew her as Mimi Ajumma.
Because she's always with her dog?
Yep.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
that's how the kids remember you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you have a dog. Like people
You're
remember
this
me as
one.
Pepper's mum,
Yeah.
right? And Mimi Ajumma, I actually don't know what her English name or Korean name is. I don't know anything about her name, her real actual name.
Yeah.
But I know her as Mimi Ajumma, and it's a very endearing and like lovely way to like remember her.
That's cute.
Yeah. So I think that's when I would use Ajumma. Yeah. And I would only call people Ajumma to the people that I already call Ajumma from a
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah. So at a restaurant now, you wouldn't say that.
I would avoid using it. I'll say
Yeah.
chogiyo,
What's chuggy?
which is like excuse me
Oh, okay.
or hello,
Okay. Yeah,
or over here, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say Ajumma.
yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm worried I'm gonna offend
Offend
someone.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay, I think Silai is like you don't call people Silai. Like if I was saying it doesn't even really mean auntie. Like if I wanted to call someone auntie, so there's a generic auntie word in Cantonese which is ba mo, which is like older motherly figure, which is like auntie. It's generic. It could be anyone. It doesn't matter if it's actually you wouldn't call anyone that's blood related, like on your dad's side, like your dad's sibling's wife or your dad's sibling who's a sister. You wouldn't call them that because they have their own names. Same with your mum's side. Like they have their own proper names. I think same in Korean, right?
Oh, like second auntie or
Yeah, like your dad's side
sister.
auntie.
Yeah.
You have proper words for that. So you wouldn't call them Bartmole, but if it's like your mum's friend, then or your dad's friend or something, or dad's friend's wife, then you can say Bartmole. So that's like a family friend, auntie. There's nothing bad about saying that. If you're at a restaurant and you want help, you would never say silai, because silai is like, I need to explain silai separately after this, but if I'm at a restaurant and I'm asking like, and it's maybe an older woman who's serving me, I'd say like, excuse me, like guy.
Yeah.
And then, or some people might say, some people, like not me, but men, some local men might be, len lo, which is like pretty girl, but it's just like making them happy because they're obviously like a lot older, but you're calling them like young pretty girl.
Oh,
so it's
okay,
like it's fun.
Yeah.
So, or some people might call that to a boy like lenzai, but I would never say that because I'm not local enough. But to a boy like, handsome young man, come over here.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. If it's still like an older lady, maybe at the markets or like you're ordering something, some people might say ate or ayi, so, which is why when you Googled, you found ayi, maybe because it's like generic auntie as well, like public.
So many auntie words.
And then ate is just, ate is actually, is just a word, like a sound, like like it doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
But ate is older sister. So in
like
Korean you
jeje?
have, but 제 is like, that can work too. Like as a generic auntie, older lady helping you.
Yeah.
You could say that too. Yeah. But we don't, how in Korean you call like a friendly sister, older sister, or like friend, older sister. We don't have that. though.
Onni?
Yeah, we don't have that.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe back in the day they did, but I don't think we do. But anyways, so all of those random aunties words,
So many auntie words.
but still not silai. Like I think silai is like describing, this is where I am worried to offend people, but silai is basically like, it's to do with like, okay, maybe you're probably married or 40 plus, you've probably lost your like figure, from after childbirth or just getting older as a woman. Typically they call people silai because, they do the grocery shopping and they're good at haggling at the markets. They're like unapologetic. They're they'll be on your in your face. Like you don't want to like upset a sea lai because they might like yell at you or something. Like so that's like one version of what happens if you're above that age. But then there's like the opposite end where you're like, say you're like a Thai, which is like, you know, you're living a Thai life. So you're kind of like an older woman, but you're like super rich, and you're like, or not super rich, but like, you know, you're kind of more classy. You're not in the grocery shops trying to haggle.
Yep.
You're playing mahjong with your friends. You're going to high tea. You're getting a driver to pick you up to like meet your lady friends to go shopping or something. Like you're not like, it's two completely different like themes, I guess, or like types of aunties, but like they're probably the same age. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like two extremes. You've got the sea lai,
Yeah.
who's like,
This is so random.
I totally
I had
get
to
it.
like break it down. There's so many aunties. I'm like, shit.
So many.
Yeah.
So what's the rich one called? The rich
Like Thai.
Oh, Thai. So the Thai
Thai actually just means like you're the wife of someone.
of someone with
Like,
prestige and
Maybe
status.
like say if say my last name is Chan, and like I have a booking somewhere, and then someone might call me like Chan Thai. But Thai is just one, so it's like the wife of someone, the Chan wife kind of thing. But then Thai is like, oh yeah, like she's like living the Thai life, like, you know, she's comfortable, she's not getting her hands dirty
Yeah.
at the markets,
Yeah.
you know.
And does the Thai look put together? Like,
Yeah,
is she
more
well
put together.
groomed?
Yeah, she's well dressed.
Does she
she's
speak
well groomed
differently? Like more
Yeah,
eloquently?
she's not like as crass, and you know, she's higher class kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Even if Thai is like 40 years plus.
Yeah. Thai can be old.
Can Thai be overweight and still be Thai?
Maybe. Cause I think it's like everything.
It's more
like
class.
It's a
She's
class
classy.
thing. It's a class thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I understand because
Yeah.
Koreans have something similar.
Yeah.
So we've got Ajumma, which
Yeah.
is the sea lai,
Yeah.
and then we've got Samonim, which is
Samonim.
like the wife of someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, that's so
Exactly the same.
interesting.
And
Is
if
it the
someone
same?
says Hamonim, it's like you
Oh,
found like a
respect.
boss lady.
Yeah,
or
I'm like,
something.
oh, okay. She's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, Samonim, okay. But if it's Ajumma, it almost feels like she might not have like a good job, or she doesn't have status. Like that's what it
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah.
If I compare, it's a completely
It's
different
completely
vibe.
different. Yeah. Different
So
vibe.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about
I think we
aging.
could-
We can talk
yeah.
about it all.
We can,
Whatever.
we can. And I think thank you for doing the harder task of describing what a sea lai is, because it is hard, and
It is hard.
Ajumma, I would say, is quite similar.
It's very complex because you can't. I think different to Ajumma is like you could never just say, oh, like sea lai. Like no one would ever say that unless I don't know. I don't think people would say that.
What about children? Can children say it?
I don't know if people say it in an endearing way, actually, in like the markets. I don't know. Like Tansi Lai? I don't think so. Like, I don't know. Maybe
You
they
just call
do.
yourself.
Yeah. I'm like, do they do that? I don't know. I need to ask my parents. But
Interesting. It does feel like sea lai is stronger than Ajumma. Like, I mean, Ajumma
Like,
can
it's-
be pushy,
yeah.
but when I think typical like extremist Ajumma,
Mm-hmm.
what I envision is short curly hair,
Yeah.
tattooed eyebrows, pants like up to here, but it's like the leopard skin,
Oh,
like
okay.
comfortable pants.
Yep.
And like something colorful. It's like colorful. Everything's like patterned.
She's loud.
She's
Yeah,
loud.
She's loud.
She's loud.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I think of. Oh,
Yeah.
and a visor, like to wear to cover her face.
Yeah.
But the perm is
Yeah.
like definitely
Yeah.
Ajumma.
Colored hair, perm.
Could be colored, but the perm screams Ajumma for me.
Yeah.
It's more about the look for me, not so
The look,
much.
yes.
Yeah.
The look. The look and the whole vibe. Yeah.
I do have a quick question before we move on to the next segment.
Okay.
So what does a sea lai in Australia look like? Can you spot
Hmm.
one? And is it different to one overseas?
I think it's similar. Like if you're talking about like Chinese Hong Kong women. But it's really hard because like for example, when I think about my own mum, I never thought she was a sea lai. Like I never saw her that way because she was always working. Like she was never a housewife and she was never that big. Well, like weight wise, I guess. But then, and also she's bad at grocery shopping. You know, she's bad at
She can't
she's
haggle.
bad at knowing where the cheapest, you know, oranges were that week or something, you know. So, or like picking out the nicest fish or something. She's not good at that. So I would call my dad more of a sea lion than my mom, but I wouldn't say that either because he's a man.
Right,
But
sea life
has
for women.
But because he's savvy at like shopping and stuff and cooking and cleaning more than my mom, I feel like he's taken that role a bit more in the home.
Yep.
Whereas my mom's more of like a working woman, so I never saw her that way. So I feel like sometimes when a woman's like working or less of a housewife, I think you don't see that as much. Like they're less of a, you don't see that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think
Like
I
I wouldn't
agree.
call your mum, like I wouldn't see your mum as that either.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the term Ajumma in my mind, it's almost like, in my mind, like this isn't facts, but it's kind of fading because a lot of women are working now.
Yeah.
Whether they're here or in Korea or in China or Hong Kong, it's women had to, you know, before the goal was to get married. That was my grandma's goal. Like she's like, you just have to get married and, you know, that's it. Like that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But now that we're all working now, it's like, can a working woman be an Ajumma or a Silai?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a big question. I think also this term silai it's way more common in like TVB series that I used to watch growing up, or like movies and stereotyped characters than like, you know, this character's mom, like the main character's mom or the main character's auntie or some, you know, side character in the background. Like it's not actually, I don't know how real it is because do you know what I mean? It's probably always like exaggerated. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we've just talked about Ajummas and Silai being a little bit more not so typically attractive and, you know, the housewife or someone, or they're haggling, or I would also add that they will be putting other people's needs before themselves. That's a typical Ajumma in my mind.
Yeah.
So we've touched on those things. How about like the strength or like the beauty of Ajummas and Silai?
What are the things you can admire about them? I reckon they're known to be savvy. Like they're just
savvy.
Yeah, like whether it be money or like street smart or like hopefully anyways, but yeah, they're like money savvy, I guess.
Okay.
Like because, you know, they know where to get the best ingredients for the best price, and they know, I don't know, things like that.
I wouldn't say like money savvy, like typically for Ajumma.
Not fully financially savvy.
Not financially savvy.
Not like financially savvy, but like small cost saving kind of savvy.
Like thrifty.
Thrifty, yeah. Like they're not going to go to Harris Farm and buy food. Like they're going to go to maybe Flemington Markets or something, you know? Like,
yeah.
Or get things in bulk or something like that, you know?
Yeah, and then or from their Ajumma friend. Like they traded like the kimchi with
or they
like,
try
radish.
to grow some of their own stuff.
Yeah. I agree. They typically also know how to cook. Like they're skilled.
They are skilled.
They use their hands when they cook.
Yeah.
So when
they're not
making
afraid
kimchi,
of
they
getting
don't use
their hands
tongs.
dirty.
They'll use their bare hands.
Yeah.
And the 손맛, like the taste from they'll feed it in your mouth and you're like, oh my gosh.
They don't have
Ajumma.
recipes. They just do it. Yeah.
Everything's intuitive.
Like they can whip up anything, you know.
So quickly.
And nutritional stuff too, not just like bad things, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love Ajummas.
And they're good at health, like, you know, knowing what's good for your health, you know, what to eat for your health, like, or, you know, you shouldn't eat this because you're coughing, or things like that.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, you gotta have hot soup because
Yeah.
you need hot soup. Like they know what you need.
Yeah, they know what you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're experienced caregivers usually.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They are. Gotta love the
else?
Ajummas. They also provide me with a lot of comfort.
Yeah.
Like when I spot an Ajumma figure,
Yeah.
it does remind me of my mum
Yeah.
because there's something homey and cozy and
They're
comforting and
approachable.
warm.
They're approachable.
Yeah, they're very approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Like even if it's like not a Korean Ajumma, if I see like a Chinese, like for example, equivalent of Ajumma,
Yeah.
I also have a major soft spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the markets or something, and if like there's they might be yelling at me or I don't know, like
yeah.
because like maybe I'm at a fruit market and like
Yeah.
maybe there's a bit more aggression,
Yeah.
but I like it. I'm like, oh, that's the spirit of
I have this
an Ajumma.
Yeah, and I have this idea that like they're good with kids, because maybe they've raised a few,
Yeah,
or like, if I don't know if you watch those random videos, but like there's those videos of like a fake pregnant person and they need water or they sit down and they ask for help, but it's always like these older women that help them and they're so like nice and caring. Like they have the water, they have the tissues in their bag, they have like, I imagine them to have like a bag full of everything you'd need if someone was to faint.
Yeah. Love it's I agree. Like even I was just when you were saying all that, I was imagining like an Ajumma like running like a hot bathhouse in Korea.
Uh-huh.
And they'll be wearing like they'll have one leg up and they'll have like perm hair, and even though like you've never met them in your life, they will say something like something really comforting and close. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I think I went to a bathhouse and there was an Ajumma and she might say something like, "Go, the water's there." Like no hello,
Yeah.
but she'll be like, "Oh, if you want water, it's there."
Yeah.
And she'll say it like, "So whatever."
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my god, that's so caring.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the strength and the
She's
beauty.
a regular at wherever you see her. Like at the bathhouse, like she's a regular.
Oh yeah, you see them. They're always
she's
there.
Yeah.
They're always there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we talked about like the strengths and what we admire about Ajumma and Silai. Do you?
It's so funny when you say it.
Yeah, because
But
they have there's a spirit, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wisdom and a lot you can learn. I think the question is, can we embrace this energy? And
Yes.
are we becoming an Ajumma and Silai? And how do we feel about it? There's 3 questions there, but we can unpack it slowly.
Okay, what was the first one?
Can we embrace
embrace
this
it?
energy?
I think we can embrace some of this energy, like the positives for sure. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Me too. Like for
Yeah.
example, when I try to make kimchi from scratch,
Yeah.
or when I have like when children are around me and I feel like I want to give like that feeling, or when I wear comfortable clothes,
Yeah.
like even if it's really ugly
yeah.
but it's comfortable, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm embracing it
yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yes, like I'm picking comfort over something cute to wear,
Yes.
but it feels so good right now. And I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yes. Agree.
How about you? Do you feel like you embrace it in any way?
Yes. Like I love being comfortable and wearing sweatpants, and I never wear heels. So I'm also learning more to wear less makeup sometimes. Like just wear less, and then this is it. This is me.
Accepting,
Yeah.
maybe it's being more about just being true to yourself.
Yeah. And like I guess not always getting too caught up in the vanity side of things, because we're all gonna get older. Not that I want to like fully lose myself, but it's inevitable. Yeah, it's nice to embrace it. And I guess like even I'm definitely not as like thrifty as I could be, but I'd like to know that I'm trying to be. I'm not as thrifty as my dad or like things like that, but I think it's a really good quality, especially in this cost of living crisis. Like, you know, if you know where to get your fruit and veg cheaper than Woolies, I
Yeah.
think that's a win. And it's, yeah, why not? Like,
Yeah.
and it's more fresh too. So it's more healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like having those like skills in the kitchen for
Yeah.
sure. It
I
goes
would
a
love
long
to
way.
develop my skills in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess that kind of touched on the second question is, are we becoming one? It's like
Maybe.
kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. I would say that I don't think I would ever become full blown Ajumma. Like I can't ever imagine having like short curly hair or somebody calling me Ajumma. Would that ever happen? Maybe not. Like, or maybe yes. Like children.
Yeah.
Like children might call you Ajumma.
Yeah.
Or maybe the definition of Ajumma might change. Like something more
Maybe.
close to like samonim or what was it,
Yeah.
tata?
Sorry? Tai.
Tai.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's interesting because it's like there's a part of me that is scared of becoming like sea lie vibes. How much of it is like just going to be natural versus like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to be comfortable, but also still be able to, you know, dress appropriately for work and things like that. But I think it's hard. I think it's really hard.
That is hard.
As a woman, like that stage is before like you get to the old like paw stage, which is like granny stage. Because the whole auntie Ajumma, silai or bamo stage, the whole auntie phase. And then you'll suddenly graduate to like granny. You know what I mean?
Haimoni. What is it in Chinese?
Haimoni is granny.
Yeah, haimoni.
Apo, like
Apo.
yeah, apo or popo.
Oh, popo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. It's like Ajumma or
There's nothing in between.
samonim, and then it goes boom, haimoni.
Boom, yeah, boom. You're like white hair,
Damn.
and you know
Yeah.
you might need a wheelchair or something.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. It's like you want to be comfortable, you want to be true to yourself,
Yeah.
and you want to be comfortable in your own skin, but then you also want to feel good and take care of yourself, and
Yeah.
you know,
Enough. Yeah.
enough so you don't fully let go.
Yeah.
Because we definitely care less. I'm speaking for myself
Yeah.
actually, like care less compared to our 20s.
Yeah.
We've already let go a lot.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Like
Yeah.
certain things, like you said, you're wearing less makeup.
Yeah. Like I think it's interesting because you're saying like the Ajumma still do self-care, like they're still in the spas and things. Like
Oh no, she was working at a spa.
she was working at a spa.
Yeah. Oh, but she could be there. She could be visiting.
Yeah, like the the older Asian ladies, they love the steam room and things like that. So it's like, but that stuff makes me happy that they're still taking care of themselves. But it's just like I think the where we're not at yet in our 30s is maybe in our 50s or 60s. It's like becoming, you know, when old people, it feels like old people don't value them in society, like the importance of them, or I don't know how it will be when we're older in the corporate world either. But do you know what I'm saying? Like there's just, I don't know how that will feel. I feel like it would be pretty hard. Like for example, my mum, she doesn't dye her hair anymore because her hair is so grey and so white that by the time she dyes it, it's like regrows in like a week or two. So then like I was like, why don't you try to embrace it? And like now she's taken the step to embrace it. It's been like a year now, but like I think it's still really hard. Like I know it was like upsetting for her at first and like just, you know, getting older as a woman just sucks. It just seems more obvious than a man because people look at women, right? Like people judge women more, I think, naturally. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and typically, like it's even in the language, like Ajumma, Silai, like there's these words describe certain types of women who maybe not attractive or don't have status or money or pretty, like they're not pretty, and there's always been an emphasis on that for women. And if you
like
don't
your
have your beauty, your prettiness, your youth, but for an Asian woman in their 50s, 60s, your hair's graying.
Yeah.
It's so confusing because like something that's so embedded in society and something that you grew with is like, you know, you think that that's how you provide value, like through your beauty, but it's taken away.
Yeah.
It's like that would be so hard
Yeah.
if that's what you know, attach your value to.
True. Yeah.
Because I feel that as well, even now. Like, as a 35-year-old, I'm like, you know, the youth, like, as we get older and youth it's how do I say it? Yeah, fading. I was like, how do I express it? I'm like, slipping away sounds a bit negative. But yeah, like, as we get older, it just feels like, yeah, what's it going to be like when I'm 40? I'm already thinking about it. Like, when I'm 40, if I'm in a room and I don't know how to describe it.
I don't know how to say this. Like, it's just a really weird feeling. Like, not a weird feeling, but I think it'll just get harder and harder as we get older. Sorry, let me move this. It's just I guess, you know, like everyone's attention, like the whole society's attention would be on women in their 20s, right? Like, they're the prettiest, they've got the most going for them. Not the most going for them, but I'm saying like they're probably the most attractive, or they've got a whole life ahead of them. They're just at the beginning of their career. They could be anything they want. You don't know, you know, if you're chatting to someone who's going to be like, you know, I don't know, head of some company or some team one day, or, you know, there's just so much potential and excitement about a woman in their 20s, right? Unmarried, you know, like, or
Unmarried.
unmarried,
add
you
that
know,
in.
not taken, you know, just, yeah, she's like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what path she's going to go. But like, as the decades go on, it's like your path is, you know, you've lived and you've got all that experience. But like, I just don't know if people are excited for, if I'm like, yeah, the older I get, or people aren't as excited, which is really sad. I don't know.
You mean
And
like
people get forgotten. Like, I think the older generation gets forgotten a bit. Like, people still respect them and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, am I just blabbing on?
Yeah, no, I think the word forgotten, that I felt like, yeah, that's how I feel as well. It's not, but that's just, we're speaking from a media perspective.
Yeah.
At the moment, and I do agree, like, once people hit their 40s, it's like you don't see them on TV or on YouTube like as much, but it also makes sense because
it's changing, which is like good. Like, there are some more stories about older people, but
I think people in their 20s just generally have more energy as well. You can actually do more and be on more programs and that kind of thing. But yeah, so I think the last question was, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it?
Like,
No, that's
of
kind of how I felt about
potentially becoming Ajumma or silai.
I don't feel much about it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Like, I'd like to, as long as I'm healthy as I can be, and I'm content, and, you know, I have a good relationship, I think it doesn't really matter. Because people might think that, but they're not going to say that to me, right? Like, they're not going to call me, hey, you're such a silai, or unless they're like having a fight with me or something. But like, no one's going to say it to my face.
I think someone's called me Ajumma, like my cousins or someone, like as a
As
joke.
a joke.
Yeah, they're like, oh, 이제 Ajumma 다 됐네. Like, oh, you're like Ajumma now.
Oh no! How did you
and
feel?
I think I was like, already? But this was like years ago. I was like, already? And I think they were just saying it as a joke.
Yeah.
How do I feel about it? I think it just, for me, I just feel like it feels, I don't know how I feel, but it's more of a reminder for myself to take care of myself. Like, I really want to take care of, you know, just because you're getting older, it doesn't mean that you can't look cute anymore.
True. Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
So just looking cute or feeling cute.
beautiful.
But for
still.
myself, really,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
because honestly, no one's really looking at us anymore.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Like no one's really looking at us more and more.
More and more.
No one's going to be looking at us.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if I tried too hard, I would look like an idiot. Anyway, it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of trying too hard? Like,
We can't
when
dress.
I'm not competing with the 20 people
we
in the
can't.
20s.
It's
like, just
yeah.
accept, embrace it, and
Exactly.
look good for yourself.
for yourself. Feeling good in our bodies. And our bodies
Yeah.
are going to keep changing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, taking it day by day and just loving
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Not being too hard on yourself. And embracing the aging, I think part of it, because it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But sure, there's things we could do. We could do Botox. We could do
Yeah.
work out like crazy. Like there's things you could do, but I think it's also like there's a line where it's like, well, you just gotta be happy and, like you said, love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that was a fun episode.
Yeah, that was really fun.
We went really kind of. It didn't go how I thought it would because we had so many variations of auntie, but I like that.
That was a really good topic.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Rox, I don't think anybody has covered this topic before. So I hope we did a good job. And because I was thinking, did we mention that Ajumma and Sila is women? Did we mention that?
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. It was. Now you know.
Because auntie.
Auntie,
it's
yeah,
a
that's true,
woman.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys took away something from this episode.
Can you please tell us, like, what other characteristics or things you think Ajummas or Silais have, or if you're from another Asian background or other background, or you're white, can you tell us the equivalent? Because we don't know if there's other equivalents in other cultures.
Like I could think of Karen, but that's different.
But
that's so different.
different,
So different.
Karen could be 20-year-old.
And Karen's new. It's a new word. Yeah, should we cover the word ajoshi maybe, which is the male version of Ajumma?
Oh,
Maybe we could talk about
there's
that.
one for a guy. I didn't have to think about it. Yeah, but let us know.
Let us know. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you.